I was a physical education major, and I taught all sports, but still drive the car, still do activities.
We had noticed that she was slowing down a little bit, but she was in her mid-80s, and when I would go to pick her up and she would walk from her apartment to my car, she'd be a little out of breath.
One night after dinner, I walked in to play bingo and fainted.
They admitted her to the hospital, and the next day the cardiologist came and told us that she had severe aortic stenosis, and that was the first we had ever heard of it.
Aortic stenosis is a condition that can kill people suddenly when it becomes severe. The aortic valve is the fourth and final valve that the blood crosses on its course through the heart. When the left ventricle squeezes, the blood comes out through a healthy-sized orifice like this, and the leaflets open and close. And when you get these calcium deposits on the aortic valve, it restricts the excursion, and sometimes leaflets are even frozen and one barely opens. And so what is ordinarily a nice opening for the blood to be ejected from the heart becomes a slit. The only treatment traditionally has been open surgery, but with this really evolving, wonderful new technology that's ingenious with transcatheter aortic valve replacement, the most common portal of access is through the femoral artery in the groin. Guide wires are advanced up the aorta. It has allowed us to offer treatment to patients that were previously thought to be too high risk.
They said my valve was starting to close, and that, of course, caused me to faint. And they put me then on oxygen, and I was never in pain, you know, before or after. I had no warning.
When we were faced with the options for Mom's treatment, there was one option to do nothing, which was not a good option because the doctors were not hopeful that that would be a good outcome within the year. The second option would be the traditional open the chest valve replacement, big surgery, which the doctors were very concerned would be too risky for someone of Mom's age and health. And of course, recovery is brutal. And then the TAVR, which we did not even know existed. And when they explained that it was just a procedure through the groin and they're only in the hospital 24 hours, they're up and out, it was very appealing.
So typically the patient will hear from me first as the valve clinic coordinator. We will get the referral from your primary cardiologist. So we use two valves in our TAVR procedure here at St. Vincent. One is the Edwards and the other is Medtronic's core valve. They are engineered a little bit differently, and while neither valve is necessarily better than the other, there is one valve that's better for you. The valve is crimped down into the tube, and then when it is in place, a balloon is inflated that opens the valve up, and then everything comes out and you are left with a working valve.
Appropriate sizing, getting the right valve for the right patient is just as important as actually the valve implantation itself, and good planning equals good success. There's the initial screening phase where we go through diagnostic studies to make sure that patients do indeed have severe aortic stenosis. So we're able to, as a team, first off, evaluate these people and try to determine, is this what they need? And number two is when we decide that yes, we're going to go forward with TAVR, there's a whole lot of planning involved.
You will meet with us, you get to meet with your physician. We will describe and explain all these screening tests to you. The screening process itself lasts about 8 hours, but once that day is over, you only have the one time you have to come back to see us, and then we see you on valve implementation day. And so the process, we walk you through every step of that process, take care of all of those problems for you so that you can have all those fears eliminated and we can get you feeling better as quickly as possible.
Aortic stenosis patients, it's like a plateau. You go along, go along, go along, go along, go along, and then all of a sudden you fall off the cliff. Okay, it's not a gradual and steady decrease. It's really, they go from here to here in an extremely short period of time. And so what happens is if you catch them here, you're great. If you catch them here, then the pumping function of their heart's extremely weak. They're extremely frail, they're short of breath all the time, and a lot of times they're too sick to have anything done at all.
people notice a big difference after the treatment. Once they get treated, they feel like they're completely new person. Makes them less short of breath, relieves the chest pain or any passing out episodes if they have.
I felt perfectly okay when I woke up, and I was hungry. I do remember that.
A couple of hours after her procedure, she was sitting up in a chair in her room, eating applesauce, visiting with family. It was stunning. Like nothing had happened, and she had a brand new heart valve.
Well, I'm able to do anything I want to do, just about. I go to 3 exercise classes a week, which I wasn't able to before. I don't sleep as much. I really sit there and can read or watch TV, play bridge, and can go shopping, can go out to lunch. I feel good, feel good.